Hey everyone, my name is Kaya Edwards, and I serve as the program manager for the North Carolina Business Committee for Education. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the Navigator demo. To give you some brief context, we are a nonpartisan nonprofit that is housed in the Office of the Governor in downtown Raleigh. And our primary goal is to connect employers to students and job seekers via work-based learning opportunities. The image you see here is the work-based learning continuum that captures necessary work-based learning opportunities students should experience in order to be considered career ready and career aware. These experiences include exposure to career fairs, guest speakers, field trips, mentoring, and apprenticeship. A simpler way to view the continuum is to view it as a talent pipeline generator that captures career awareness, career exploration, and career experience. Just a quick note, as you're signing on, make sure you keep yourself muted. That will help with some of the feedback that's coming through. Now, as previously mentioned, we connect employers to students and job seekers, and I'll give you a brief description of some of our work-based learning initiatives. First, we have Students at Work. This is a month-long job shadowing initiative aimed at exposing middle school students from across the state to real-world business environments in their communities. We view job exposure as a critical first step in integrating work-based learning to the lives of North Carolina students and job seekers, and adding relevancy to their classrooms and helping students successfully navigate career pathways. Next, we have Teachers at Work. This is a teacher externship model designed in partnership by NCBCE and DPI. The program provides educators from across the state with unique hands-on learning experiences inside local businesses, nonprofit organizations, and state entities. Through these experiences, educators gain a more robust understanding of the technical skills, behaviors, and mindset students need to be successful in today's professional environment. I just got to note that if you're having a hard time hearing me, are you still unable to hear me? I'm going to keep going. Next is LinkedIn. I'll go into more detail on that initiative on the next slide. Okay, give me 1 second and I'll see if I can fix the audio. Okay, can you hear me better now? Someone would send me a message and just let me know. Okay, great, thank you. All right, so next is the Educator Discovery Award. This Educator Discovery Award recognizes the value of quality professional development for teachers at all phases of their careers. And this program will provide a stipend of up to $1,000 for pre-K through 12 traditional public and public charter school teachers to pursue a professional development experience of their choosing. Teachers can use the grant award to attend a workshop or conference that deepens their subject area knowledge, such as a coding workshop for computer science teachers or a session on how to create a project-based learning experience for students. Next is the Navigator, which I'll be demoing shortly. Next is LinkedIn. This is an internship pilot designed to provide employment opportunities for underrepresented groups. And the first pilot addresses individuals with autism spectrum disorder, and so far it has been a great success. I'm still getting notes that people are having a hard time hearing me. And if that's the case, just let me know. Finally, we have empowering STEM. We recognize that there is a critical disconnect between the STEM skills needed to support the state's current and future job ecosystem and our students' interest and level of mastery in those fields. By bringing together business leaders and educators from across North Carolina in a hands-on learning environment, this conference, which is held next Monday actually, will help make that connection from classroom to career. And this event is a partnership between GSK, the CBCE, and the Keynote Fellows Program, and will enable over 100 of the state's leading middle school educators to connect the classroom environment to career environment. And next, we're going to start looking at the Navigator. Does anyone have any questions before I proceed so far? All right, so great. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Navigator is a free online marketplace for employers and educators to connect and execute work-based learning opportunities in the classroom. So think of the Navigator as the Amazon marketplace of work-based learning, where businesses are the vendors and educators are the shoppers. Some of the benefits include applying content learned in the classroom, exploring career options, and making informed decisions about education and work, building soft skills, gaining work experience that can launch a career, interacting with and learning from mentors and industry professionals. On the business side, some of these benefits include building partnerships with schools, increasing employee retention and productivity, and developing a highly skilled workforce. Counselors across the state play an important role in making this platform work because you all can speak to the importance of making connections to careers, and you can translate the importance of work-based learning to your schools and to your communities. To give you some brief context on how these opportunities are posted on the platform, a primary administrator from a business first completes an organization sign-up form and indicates what work-based learning opportunities it offer. From there, someone in their organization, in our organization, first validates to make sure that the organization is legitimate. And this process includes making sure that they have a website, appropriate contact information, and the actual bandwidth to accommodate to the groups of students. Next, once they've been validated, the primary administrator invites business users or employees within the organization onto the platform to serve as resources. From there, the business user creates the work-based learning opportunity by giving it a name, description, indicating the career cluster, target audience, capacity, and the delivery mechanism. Also, if there's any additional materials that will be beneficial for the educator in preparation for the opportunity, they can attach those materials as well. And here's some images of what it looks like when the employers are actually creating the resource. This is the employer dashboard. This is what the breakdown of the opportunity looks like. And educators are able to log onto the Navigator using the NC EdCal credentials. And from there, they will be able to search for necessary resources. And I'll stop there. Does anyone have any questions while I transition to the Navigator site? Okay, give me 1 second while it's loading. All right, and so now we're looking at the Navigator homepage. On the Navigator homepage, you'll see a brief description of what the Navigator is. And when you scroll down, you'll be able to search for resources by keyword, use the interactive map in order to search by county, or you can click on the resources tab at the top of the page in order to search by filters. I'll show you what some of the filters look like. The filters include delivery method or mechanism, the resource type, the target audience, career cluster, and you can also search by county as previously mentioned. I'm going to show you an example of what some of the resources look like. I'll use myself as an example. in the keyword box. So I'll just type in my name. And from there, you can see that I have 3 resources on the platform. So I'll go ahead and click on one of them. All right, and from here you can see a breakdown of the resource or opportunity that I offer and a brief description. Something to note also is we have related resources. So if you're looking at one resource, you can also recognize what other people may be shopping for within the same parameters. I'm going to log into the platform so you can see what a processed order looks like. So you enter in your credentials, you log in. And from here, the employer has now 2 dashboards. So I will go to the Orders tab, and you can see that I have 3 orders processing. I'm going to click on one to show you an example. So you can see that I have been contacted to serve as a guest speaker. And in the note, they've indicated what they are expecting me to bring or what they are expecting me to do. There's contact information at the bottom of the page. And from here, it is my responsibility as the employer or the resource to reach out to the educator. In this case, I've already done so. They're very responsive, and the opportunity actually takes place next week. And it's that easy. Another important tab to recognize is on the original dashboard. I'll go to the About page. This is the general dashboard on the home page. And if you scroll down, this is the organization sign-up form. This is the form that businesses use in order to generate their presence onto the platform. I'll show you what it looks like. We just ask for basic information that gives us a good idea of what the opportunity the company is offering. And we also ask them to include who introduced them to the Navigator so we can make sure that we're intentional with our outreach. I'll show you some of the resources on the resource tab. Some of the partnerships we have so far include Novozyme, Mountain Area Workforce Development, NC Courts, the Governor's Office, Fidelity, Johnson Healthcare, Region Q Workforce Development Board, GSK, Little Diversified Architectural Consulting, State Readiness Center East, and many others. And we are also in the process of conducting outreach and giving presentations to anyone who will listen in order to get the word out and get more businesses and educators signed on to the platform. If I just click on any of these filters, I can see the resources that are applicable to that resource, to the filter. I'm going to stop there. Does anyone have any questions so far? That is the Navigator in general. I think I hit most of the main points, but from here we can just open it up for people to ask questions. So if you have any questions, you can either type them in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and then speak out. Educators do not need to complete a sign-up form. Educators are able to log into the platform using their NC Ed Cloud credentials, and from there you have the ability to shop for resources as anyone else would. Only people that need to create a sign-up form or are businesses or organizations who are generating the opportunities for educators to shop for. Does that make sense? Brittany, so your question is, as an elementary school counselor, what is most important for you to know about this program? I would say that previously mentioned, we showed you the career continuum. So work-based learning is critical across the state in order to make sure that students are prepared and ready for a job. We recognize that there are critical industries that are not having the job pipeline that they're intended to have. And as a result, we need counselors to be on board in order to make sure that the students are getting the work-based learning opportunities and exposure to career awareness that they need. So in this case, I would say earlier that you can get your students interacting on the platform, the better off they will be, and making sure that they have informed decisions in order to select careers that they are interested in pursuing. No problem. Are there career assessment resources specific to students? The majority of the opportunities on the Navigator are for students. There are some that are such as like teacher externships, but those are indicated. What type of career assessment are you speaking of? I'm not familiar, I'm sorry. It's for Adrian. I'm sorry, Connie. So educators log in through their NC Ed Cloud using their NC Ed Cloud credentials, and they just click on the Navigator icon, and from there you'll be given access to the platform. I noticed that the dashboard mentions shipping and billing addresses. Are schools charged? No, everything on the Navigator is free. It may have that language such as shipping and billing, but that ignore that part because this was a marketplace template that was used in order to generate the site. Everything on the site is free. Are there concerns that businesses will be over-contacted specifically for larger districts? Currently, yeah, that's a natural concern, but as I mentioned, it's up to the employer in order to reach out to the educator to schedule the logistics. So if they have that concern, I'm sure that they would share it. They can also switch their resource to private. So if they find themselves being contacted continuously, they can give themselves a break. Or if they have a busy time of year, they can cut themselves off. So you won't necessarily see the resource, but it will still be on the platform behind the scenes. And Morgan also wanted me to mention that we're in the process of deleting and changing all the commerce-y language, such as the shipping and the billing. The career curriculum question from Sarah, this is more independent resources that they use in order to add standards to their curriculum. Is there a travel? So there is not a travel distance. We actually have a filter on the Navigator that asks for delivery mechanism. So if you are worried about being in a rural community, you can actually contact you virtually or offer virtual resources. And you can indicate which county you would like to find resources for, so that also gives you a little bit of assistance as well. Missy? So currently we do not have it set up for students to engage with the platform. It is solely for the employer and the educator. that answer your question, Rob Hine? But educators are able to find as many resources as they would like. They can only pick out one at a time, but if you find multiple resources that are applicable to your classroom, feel free. No problem. I'm going to show you some of the programs that we recommend for career exploration. Give me a second while the page loads. So looking at the filter on the left-hand side, if you filter by resource type, you can see some of the opportunities that are offered depending on such as the age group of your students or the intended experience. So in the career exploration bucket, we have mentoring and career competitions, mock interviews, science fairs, service learning, and teacher externships. And I can share with you the work-based learning continuum that we use. And our goal is to have many more businesses uploaded very shortly. For Stacy, can multiple orders be placed at the same time? Let's say to have guests for a career day. Of course. So if you find 4 or 5 guest speakers that you would like to check out, to do so, just be mindful that in your cart you can only check out one at a time. So if you get a that tells you you have too many items in your cart, go to your cart, check out one, and then you'll be able to proceed. For Herman, guest speakers, we have a lot of NC Court representatives in the guest speakers tab, and they are all willing to come across the state. Some of them are virtual and some of them are in school, and that's why we have so many of the guest speakers. We're very judge heavy right now, but we're working on that. And here's Morgan. She wants to add in it.
All right, I'm going to comment on something. We have had people who wanted to do multiple guest speakers for a career day or career event. Some of the educators who did that, they went ahead and had a sign-up genius or a Google Doc link that they sent with the request. So in the notes section, when you're placing an order, you can provide specific notes for the person that you would like to have for your career day or event and send it to them. And then that way they could easily connect with the Google Doc or the Sign Up Genius to give you feedback. And people have said that that was successful so far.
One I don't think I mentioned, but we will be sharing the PowerPoint slides as well as the recording of the webinar after the conclusion. And make sure you encourage your businesses and your communities to sign up, because that'll be a really great way to reach out and get more resources on the platform for educators to use. And it's free for businesses as well. It's free for everyone. I don't think we can reiterate that enough. Are there any more questions? Oh, and Cynthia Floyd mentioned she will post a link to the recording on the NCBPI School Council and Google site. Thank you so much, Allison. Herman asked, what are the scheduling constraints for guest speakers? Currently, we haven't had anyone to indicate if there were any scheduling constraints. We would just encourage the employers, if they have any, to reach out to the educators and let them know. But I would say from my experience, when I received the order and it was processed, when I reached out to the educator, they were very responsive. We were able to schedule the logistics within a day. I haven't found any scheduling constraints. I'm sure they will indicate if there are any. Missy asks, is there a kind of press release? Yes, I can send you that information as well. I'll make a note of that. There was a press release. And the governor announced it. On December 7th, our Experience More Summit on work-based learning at Fidelity Investment. I can send you that information as well. Sure, I can slow scroll. Give me 1 second. I will say now that it is mainly judges. Focus only on K-12 or community college staff as well. Currently, it's only K-12, but we are working on community college integration. In fact, our director just had a meeting with community colleges, so we're still working on it. And as you can see, there are, oh, there's one, the judge, Carolyn. There's 16 pages of these, so it's quite a few. And Herman, you have the ability to look through any of these resources. You don't have to even be logged in onto the platform, but you do have to be logged in order to check out or post. Are there any additional questions? No problem. Thank you for listening. And if any of you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to our organization using the email ncbceadmin, admin, @nc.gov, or you can call us at 919-814-2020. And I'll send you all the press release information, the link to the webinar today. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out. Thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Have a good one.